sweltering from the oppressive summer heat, chances are you will be today. Check out this map. From Salt Lake City to New Orleans, temperatures will range from the mid-90s into the triple digits, with humidity making it feel about 10 degrees warmer. High temperatures and extremely dry conditions helped spread this brush fire in the Hollywood Hills. It took more than 200 firefighters to bring the flames under control. Fire officials say after 5 years of drought, vegetation in the area is extremely dry.
On July 18, 2016, at approximately 3:30 a.m., officers from our Southeast District had just finished a call for service in the 2900 block of Eastern Avenue. Suddenly, a Toyota RAV4 struck one of the patrol cars that was parked at the location. The crash was captured on an officer's body-worn camera. Fortunately, the officer was not inside of his patrol car, and none of the occupants inside of the other vehicle were injured. The driver of the RAV4 told investigators that he was looking down, playing the Pokemon Go game, when he struck the patrol car.
Hey, hit my parked patrol car. 10-4-M-3-1. Supervisor to respond to this location. 10-4, 2-Animal 9.
You guys okay?
2-Animal 9.
You okay?
Okay. What's the location?
2901 Eastern Avenue.
10-4. And were you in the vehicle, sir? You okay?
Were you okay? I'm so sorry.
No, nobody was in the car.
Thank God.
We just only got hit by the debris.
You guys okay?
While Republicans are making the speeches in this arena, protesters are having their say outside in Public Square. DeMarco Morgan is covering that. DeMarco?
Good evening, Scott. We're about 3 blocks away from the convention site there, and about an hour ago we had about hundreds, if not thousands, of protesters who were here, just as you said it, here in Public Square, making their voices be heard. And of course we have video of them shoving each other when things sort of got out of hand. But there's a technique that cops have been using, law enforcement have been using, that sort of splits up the crowd. It's called the split and move back, and it appears to have been working, not just for this protest, but for other demonstrations across the weekend and over the past couple of days. Again, they sort of cleared this space out pretty nice, pretty smoothly, and then seconds after that, you had another crowd of about 200 protesters just took off running through the streets of downtown Cleveland, who were led by a group that goes by the name Cleveland Anonymous, and their job is to basically agitate police officers and literally take them on a foot chase. That happened, but we are told it ended without incident. Now, as far as arrests, officials are basically predicting that they would make at least 1,000 arrests per day. That hasn't happened. Those numbers haven't started to come in. There were actually no arrests today and no injuries. Just one arrest to report, and that happened on yesterday, and that was a woman who had a warrant for her arrest. We'll send things back to you, Scott.
Hour by hour, very quiet, seems like, every day here in Cleveland. DeMarco, thanks very much. CBS News primetime coverage of the Republican National Convention will resume tonight at 10 Eastern Time, and once again I'll be joined by Nora O'Donnell, Charlie Rose.
New controversy this morning over campaigns borrowing songs after Donald Trump's first convention appearance on Monday. Queen's "We Are the Champions" blared inside the arena. The Associated Press reports the band's publisher says it has repeatedly demanding that Donald Trump not use their song. Queen also tweeted its disapproval. But music itself can be a protest. Vladimir Duthier of our streaming network CBSN is at Cleveland's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Vlad, good morning. Wow.
Good morning. Behind me, you see a memorial to the power and the endurance of rock and roll in America. Donald Trump may be the headliner over at the convention, but last night one band came to town with the intention of disrupting that party. If riffs could start a revolution, then the Prophets of Rage hope it starts now. What bad placement? What bad talent?
What we do is we play music. We play it loud and we play it with meaning.
Tom Morello plays guitar in the band.
I describe this band as an elite task force of revolutionary musicians who have come together during this historic, crazy political juncture.
Formed this year, Prophets of Rage is a collection of rock veterans. Three guys from the 90s band, Rage Against the Machine, teamed up with Be Real from Cypress Hill and Chuck D from the 1980s rap group Public Enemy. All three ensembles were known for their politically charged lyrics and in-your-face performances.
It's a reintroduction of a particular style of how music and word can actually move people.
The Prophets of Rage say they're of no party, but instead endorse a platform of the people, one against systematic oppression, corporate greed, and political corruption.
The system is broken, and it cannot be fixed by one of the two major parties. I'm not going to just hope that either the racist, misogynist demagogue who's advocating war crimes at the RNC over there, or the corporatist, hawkish, centrist Democrat over here are the ones that are going to fix the problems of this country.
At this year's Republican National Convention, they're staging concerts, which they hope will encourage action.
The world's not going to change itself. That's up to you.
It's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Music is always getting at what's happening in the world.
Jason Hanley is in charge of education at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He says the Prophets of Rage are part of a musical history that's repeating itself.
Rock and roll grew up side by side with so much of what was happening.
Too many people have died.
In the 1960s, Bob Dylan captured the anger of a young wartime generation. 20 years later, rappers like NWA voiced the frustration and oppression of urban communities.
We're still literally today dealing with those exact same issues. So those lyrics still resonate with us, and they still feel a little painful, and that's all right.
People are feeling what we're speaking of right now.
The word rage, especially in the last couple of weeks, things have gotten heated. There have been killings of civilians. There have been killings of police officers. Is there ever a line that you won't cross when you're performing your art?
This is about peaceful protest, but it's that anger at injustice that sparks people to act, and that's what our music's about.
Tickets for last night's gig started at $20. Local proceeds went to a local homeless shelter. All the other gigs have been free, Nora.
I love that. Vlad, you are looking good this morning. Thank you so much, buddy. Stand up high in the air. We like it. Yeah, that's right.
Shot while responding to a call. Tonight we have Team 12 coverage as we continue to learn new details about the shooting.
Akeem Ashford is live in Kansas City. He just spoke with an eyewitness, but we want to begin tonight with Michael Schwenke for the latest on this. Mike?
Roger and Jen, we want to first tell you a little more about Captain Robert Melton. He served 17 years in law enforcement. Melton, also a veteran of the Kansas Army National Guard, and served in Afghanistan. Melton was one of many officers responding to a drive-by shooting. He was shot in his patrol car as he approached a group of people that matched the suspect's description of that call. He was rushed to the University of Kansas Hospital, where he later died. One person is in custody. Two others might also be involved in the incident.
It's hard. It's very hard right now, especially when it's someone that it's very close and you know them very well.
Officers on scene say there is no reason to believe today's shooting is related to what's happening in the nation right now. The shooting and others, though, involving law enforcement has many on edge.
I'm tired of our law enforcement people being murdered. The more you kill law enforcement, the more skittish they are, the more these average citizens out here are going to get shot when they have to go to a call. This violence has got to stop.
This is the second shooting of a Kansas City, Kansas officer in recent months. In May, Detective Brad Lancaster died in the line of duty.
Michael, thank you. Akeem Ashford is in Kansas City tonight at the hospital where Officer Melton was taken. Akeem, you spoke to an eyewitness. What did he have to say about what happened?
That's right, Jen. We're out front of the University of Kansas where Captain Dave Melton was brought after he was shot. Originally, he was in critical condition, but was later pronounced dead. Let's show you some video of that scene earlier from where we were. I spoke with people at that crime scene this evening. Hours after Melton was shot, several officers could be seen walking up and down North 22nd Street. One man who lives nearby tells me he heard multiple gunshots. The man says he walked into his front porch just before telling his mother to get down on the ground. He says he could see the officer's patrol car and the officer still inside of it. since this is still an active investigation, the man didn't want his face going on camera.
I was looking at television and I heard gunshots. I went up and looked out the window. I saw an officer's car in the street. The door was open and I saw the window had been shot out. Then I looked over in the car and I see him kind of slump over in the seat.
That will be at 10:30. We will be there. Details